While taking a walk today, I realized that there are different pleasures that we get from fame and from privacy. This topic will require you to pay a little attention. I'll speak as slow as possible so that you can understand what I'm trying to say. If you're a content creator, this will be extremely useful for you because you'll understand what to do after watching this video. Let me start with the pleasure of fame. There are areas in our brain that light up when we experience pleasure. We feel happier for being recognized and we are excited to roam around the world. When we get fame, we do feel like we are on top of the world and everything is going wonderful. This is the pleasure of fame. Now, before I get to the pleasure of privacy, I need to first talk about the downsides of being famous. And when you understand the downsides of being famous, you'll understand the pleasure of privacy. Now that everyone has access to broadcast themselves on the World Wide Web through various platforms, the lives that a lot of people are living are performative. They are not necessarily what the person wants to do, but they're a reflection of what they want to evoke in the eyes of others. Even if I may not be very interested in traveling, the very idea of traveling and posting a picture of myself on an internet platform so that strangers can congratulate me or recognize me might drive me towards traveling. And then when I finally do get that fame or recognition, I will feel that there is something missing. Now, the reason there is something missing is that the desire to travel abroad was not originally mine. It was co opted by seeing so many people traveling to so many exotic locations. Just because my mind caught that thought and I too believed it would be very beneficial to go and travel abroad, I decided to go ahead with it. Then I went to a different destination, I clicked pictures, I uploaded it to the internet, and people started commenting. Were I to genuinely have an authentic desire to go and travel these places, I would feel genuinely happy. Whether or not people would see me doing that would be secondary. So I could go to a place, click pictures, share them on the internet, get the recognition of people, and be happy if traveling was genuinely what I was interested in. It's very hard to distinguish between what you genuinely like and what the wider culture is trying to foist upon your mind. Because for most of our waking hours, we do tend to believe a lot of thoughts that are not originally ours. So when you see people traveling so much and posting their stories, you may end up believing that there is something inherently pleasurable about traveling. So this thought, which was not originally yours, becomes co opted. And when you co opt a thought, there's a good chance that doing the action from that does not bring you joy. Everyone says, hey, it's great to have a trip with friends and go abroad. This may be true, this may not be true. But if that thought is not originally yours, gathering friends to go abroad would feel like a chore to you because it does not emanate from your core. It's just co opted by your mind as a passing thought and you acted on it. Now that you know the downfall of fame, let me add a little more. The moment you start becoming famous is when you want to hold on to that fame very tightly. Think of going from poverty to wealth. The moment you've become rich, now that thought has found place in your mind that you don't ever want to go back to being poor again. And fame is far more unstable than wealth. So when someone becomes famous and they repeatedly experience that fame, the desire for that fame to stay in their life grows stronger. Now, when that fame seems to fade away from them, that's when these people may want to take extreme actions in order to preserve that. So, you'll see people who are losing their fame suddenly do something very controversial in order to have the public's attention. This may work for them, this may not work for them. If it does work for them, then even success becomes failure because now their anxiety of maintaining that fame goes up even higher. And slowly but surely, their health may deteriorate, they may live in psychosis, they may not be able to sleep well. If they are a content creator, now they'll always be chasing metrics, trying to see how many views or likes their video got. So, this is the complete downside of fame. Now, let's talk about the pleasure of privacy in light of the downside of fame. When you don't have to broadcast your life and when you don't have to perform for anyone, you do not experience these huge levels of anxiety. If you were to go to a movie theater by yourself, a restaurant by yourself, or if you were to go traveling somewhere on your own, and you did not feel the need to click a picture and share it on the internet, there is no performance anxiety. You experience life as it is, and that brings a lot of stillness to you. That keeps your mind calm. This is the pleasure of privacy. But just like fame has its own downfalls, privacy would also have its own downfalls. When you're by yourself in solitude, there's no one you connect with in particular because that's just one person. So sometimes when you are by yourself, you may feel that there is something missing in your life. You may feel that not having a friend or a partner is causing you to lose out on something very precious. Now, again, this is a thought that the mind got. It's not the core of your reality. But when you feel like you're missing something because you don't have special friends or a special partner, your mind rushes towards consumption. This can be consumption of entertainment and information, or this could be physical consumption like excessive eating or excessive shopping. So, when we don't have that connection to people, we may seek connection to pleasure in order to feel alive. Now, in both scenarios, we acted on something that was not a core reality. For example, feeling that you're missing out by not traveling to all these exotic locations was simply a thought in your mind. Similarly, feeling that you're missing out on something just because you don't have some special friends or connection is also a thought of your mind. It's not a core reality. And acting on these thoughts that are not native to you is what will make you take the wrong action. In case of fame, it was doing something unnecessarily controversial. And in case of solitude and privacy, it was overspending and chasing pleasure. When you're aware of both the pleasure of privacy and that of fame, you will understand or get an intuition of how to go about in the world. Then you'll know when to be by yourself and you'll know when to perform. So even if fame gets you excited, being recognized makes you feel good, somehow you will develop this wisdom that it's not permanent, and the day you stop being famous, you will not feel any regret because you had acknowledged long before that fame is unstable. Similarly, when you're by yourself, you won't feel like you're missing anyone because you understand that this is just the trick of the mind to make you feel like you're missing out on something. And that's when life really begins. It's like riding a bicycle, so there's no perfect instruction of how to execute this. You just have to immerse yourself in it. But once you start seeing both sides of the coin, once you start seeing the benefits and drawback of fame and of privacy, taking the right action will become easier.